Dr. Zakir Naik has many times stated that some of the Bible verses that speak of the Comforter are actually prophecies for Muhammad. What he doesn't realise, and probably doesn't really care, is that by doing so, with his cherry picking these verses, he is actually making Muhammad into God, which to Muslims is referred to as shirk and is the unforgivable sin. Shirk is the Arabic word for association and refers to associating someone with Allah. That is to say, to make a mere man into God, or to raise him to the same status as God, thus making him equal with God. Naik, of course, doesn't intend this to happen, but it is what has happened. How does he do this? Let us take a look at his argument. Naik has these three verses he likes to quote, which are namely John 14 verse 16, John 15 verse 26 and John 16 verse 7.
The brothers asked the question that when Jesus Christ, peace be upon him, says that I will send you a comforter, when he goes, he's talking about the Holy Spirit. That's what the church says. What is my view? Brother, I gave the reply to this in my talk. It's mentioned in the Gospel of John, chapter number 14, verse number 16. Jesus Christ, peace be upon him, says that I will pray to my Father to send you a comforter who will abide with you forever. Gospel of John, chapter number 15, verse 26 says, but when the comforter comes, who I will send from my Father, he will testify me. Gospel of John, chapter number 16, verse number 7 says, nevertheless, I tell you the truth. It is expedient for you that I go away, for if I go not away, the comforter shall not come.
I need to digress here and talk about the word comforter. In the Greek, it is the word parakletos, which incidentally, Naik attacks that word and says it has been changed. I have done a video on that claim, which I will put a link to at the end of the video. The word parakletos can also legitimately be translated as counsellor or as helper or as advocate, as well as the comforter. The New International Version uses the word advocate, but there is nothing wrong with using the word comforter. What Naik does is to say that the Comforter is not the Holy Spirit, but instead Muhammad. He attempts to separate the verses about the Comforter from the verses about the Spirit and tries to make out that when these three verses speak of the Comforter, they are not speaking of the Holy Spirit. Let us take a look at the passages and see how it destroys Naik's argument and then how it leads to shirk. Well, firstly, all three accounts also use Spirit of Truth as a description for the word comforter. In John 14 and 15 it is in the same sentence, and in John 16 it is in verse 13. Now, to a Christian that would instantly be taken to refer to the Holy Spirit, but I do know that Islam has a problem with terms such as spirits from God, because the Quran refers to the Spirit of Allah, and that is a whole nother subject that I will not go down that rabbit hole in this video. The problem Naik has is verse 26 of John 14, which says, but the advocate, the Holy Spirit, whom the Father will send in my name, will teach you all things and will remind you of everything I have said to you. Did you catch that? The advocate, the Holy Spirit. So the advocate stroke comforter is the Holy Spirit. Naik has got a whole boatload of problems with these passages. Firstly, it makes it clear that the Comforter is going to come to the disciples that Jesus is talking to at that time. Now, did Muhammad come to the disciples 600 years before they were born? It also says the Comforter will live in the disciples and also all the followers of Jesus that will come afterwards. Is Muhammad both eternal and omnipresent? Is Naik saying he is God? Also, the passages make it clear that the Heavenly Father, Jesus Christ, and the Comforter are all together in this act of indwelling of the believer. Verse 17 of John 16, speaking of the Comforter, but you know him, for he lives in you and will be in you. Verse 18, Jesus says, I will not leave you as orphans, I will come to you. In verse 23, we have the Father included. Jesus replies, anyone who loves me will obey my teaching. My Father will love them and we will come to them and make our home with them. Clearly, what we have here is a demonstration of the Trinity. Is Naik trying to say that Muhammad is part of the Trinity? Certainly looks that way. Again, he commits shirk. What Naik will try to say is, well, yes, that verse says that, but that part is the part that is corrupted, but the part I quote is not corrupted. What is he basing this on? Where is his evidence? He has none. He's got zero, zilch. To sum up, by equating Muhammad to the Comforter, he is equating him to the Holy Spirit, who is clearly shown in the Gospel of John to be part of the Trinity. This Comforter can live with any believer at any time in history. Only God can be in all places at once at any moment in time. Therefore, Naik has associated Muhammad with God and has therefore committed shirk. If any Muslims are watching this, certainly don't take my word for it. Go and read the 3 passages that Naik uses and check them out by reading the context. It won't take you long and they are not difficult to understand or confusing. The thing is that Naik quotes the verses from memory, so he must have read them carefully, and yet he still is trying to deceive you. Don't stand for it.